It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, hello, you know what time it is. That's right, Friday, March 31st, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com. If you're watching live, Braylon Edwards, a very good afternoon to you, my friend.
Very good afternoon. Before we get into all the good news, because as Michigan fans, we have great news. We'll get into that. I saw an obituary for a lady named she went by Falcon when she was on a TV show.
Interesting way to start the show.
Because I know we're going to be talking about Jadyn Davis the rest of the show for Michigan football. Remember that show Gladiator? When I was
American Gladiators?
It's the best show ever. It was like not the best show ever, man. Like
Nitro?
Look and see, Sable. Like Saber. See, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't by myself. It was an amazing show. Rest in peace to Falcon, but it was a great show when I was growing up.
Tom Mazawey, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, man, you got me hooked on the whole Jadyn Davis thing. Usually, I don't give a damn what high school kids are going to do, and I'm not going to watch them on SportsCenter, but I'm glad I did. I enjoyed that.
It was very
fun.
Exciting. Here we go.
I never thought he would pick Michigan.
So, depending upon which recruiting site you look at, I mean, he's number 1 or number 6 on ESPN, number 1 in other places, number 2 in places. One of the best quarterbacks in the class of 2024, highly touted Jadyn Davis, a 5-star quarterback from Providence Day School in North Carolina. He made his announcement in college today to where he will play the next 3 or 4 years, as he says. Michigan, Ohio State, North Carolina, the state in which he's from. He's from Charlotte. Tennessee and Clemson were the options, and he chose Michigan just moments ago. And Michigan, about a minute after he made the announcement, the University of Michigan football Twitter page puts this out.
Michigan Wolverine is great. To be a 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 Michigan Wolverine is great.
To the victors go the spoils, and Michigan, back-to-back Big Ten championships. They have beaten Ohio State twice. They have made the college football playoff twice and in a row, and now they're getting some guys. Braylon, this is an important day for the Michigan Wolverine football program.
This is a major day, and it's the same thing we talked about with the Detroit Lions in terms of players wanting to come here, talking about Cam Sutton wanting to be a Detroit Lion, talking about C.J. Gardner-Johnson wanting to be a Detroit Lion. It's the same thing up in there in Ann Arbor. They've been struggling recruiting over the past 7 to 8 years. Ohio State is killing them. Alabama is killing them. Georgia's now killing them. Clemson was killing them for a while. These places are killing Michigan in the recruiting because you can't win. If you can't beat the team that matters most in your conference, then if I'm a kid, why am I coming to Michigan? Why am I coming just to add another L in November to my resume? Now that they're winning, they beat Ohio State at home 2 years ago. They beat Ohio State last year in Columbus. Handily, they beat them down in Ohio State. They now own the Big Ten. They now own the media rights. You see it every year. What's Fox talking about? Who's the most watched team? It's Michigan. And nationally, ESPN. What's the most nationally watched brand now? It's Michigan. Michigan is back. Now they got to win the national championship because we know they keep coming up short. But when you get players like Jadyn Davis to commit while he still has another year in college, you don't nail
in high school.
In high school. We weren't nailing these type of recruits before. To whereas he has another 365 days to make the decision. He's already choosing Michigan. Michigan is now, they're going places that no one could imagine.
And it's one of those things too, Maz, where the quarterback, because that was one of the questions asked to him on the broadcast, why make the announcement now and not wait until during the season or even after the season? And as Jadyn Davis pointed out, it's so important for the quarterback of the class to commit early because that's when guys follow. We will see a trickle-down effect from wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, defensive players who want to be a part of this class. They want to be a part of this kid's quarterback-led team because they anticipate that Michigan is going to be playing for championships with Jadyn Davis at quarterback. And I do think it's important on so many different levels too. Number one, this makes sure, or at least let me do this because we don't know anything about really if this kid is going to come in and succeed. We hope he will. It looks like he will. But just the thought that Michigan now has given themselves an opportunity and put themselves in a position to extend this run. To extend this run beyond J.J. McCarthy. To extend this run beyond this one specific class. Because now when you get quarterbacks like this, a 5-star quarterback like this, it does absolutely, I think, make better, talented kids want to come to your school. And Braylon, what do we talk about all the time as well? I mean, when you see 5-star J.J. McCarthy turning around and handing the football off, we thought a lot of times it would make kids shy away. It would make quarterbacks, it would make wide receivers shy away from wanting to play in that type of offense. But the facts are the facts, and it did not shy Jadyn Davis away from that at all.
Not necessarily shy quarterbacks away from coming to the University of Michigan. Definitely shy receivers away from coming to the University of Michigan. Receiver, look, what I see is what I'm going to get. If you don't throw the ball, then I can't catch the ball as a receiver. Not quarterbacks. What Jadyn Davis saw was, I see the team that's on TV the most. I see the team that they talk about the most on ESPN. I see the team that's winning the Big Ten the most, that's beating up on Ohio State year after year, a team that's right there on the precipice, and they're building it the right way. The thing about Michigan nowadays and with kids are starting to be smarter and smarter, faster and faster, right? Because their parents are asking them to grow up. Their parents are telling them to get training at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're basically exercising and entertaining them about the business side of sports earlier. So now kids, now they look at it as a business decision. Where do I want to go to school? Well, I want to go to school that's always on TV. Well, Michigan's always on TV. I want to go to school that has a great infrastructure. Well, Michigan now has a great infrastructure. I want to go to school with a team that has a chance to win the national championship every year. They've been in the semifinals twice in the last 2 years. Michigan is shaping up to be a place where people now want to come because the infrastructure is there. I know what Michigan is going to do year after year after year. It's not a guessing game.
And not only
is Orji going to be the next guy after JJ?
No, I think
will he go against Jadyn Davis?
I mean, this kid might come in and start in year 1.
So 2024.
Yeah,
it's him
potentially.
I mean,
he'll probably have every opportunity to start, Jadyn Davis.
And you know his measurables right now?
Not off the top of my head. I can find them for you.
We'll find them.
But here's the thing, though, Maz. This is what the schools that have been winning national champions, this is what they've been doing for the past 11, 12, 25 years in terms of you had a freshman you trust, play that freshman, let them rock and roll, and you start winning national champions. You build around that freshman. That's what Alabama is doing. They're ready to plug in their freshman every year. Georgia's ready to plug in their freshman. Ohio State is ready to plug in their redshirt freshman
Lions
every year.
Going to get their rookie quarterback.
There
right?
you go. There you go. There you go. But this is how you do it. You know, you're bringing in guys that are 4 stars, that are 5 stars, that have been playing at these 5-star camps since they were 11, 12 years old. By the time they get to college, Mass, they're ready to play football. They're ready to play football.
Now, what makes you think
6 feet, 200 pounds.
6 foot. Okay, so he's not that big.
You got to be ready to play.
Dude,
I'm just saying. I'm just talking. Yeah. He's still growing.
I've seen exactly, and
I've
seen Alabama
6'1",
win
6'2" by the time.
I've seen Alabama win the national championship with 2 guys that run to 6 foot. So
I know. I'm just
at the end of the day, our projection is not for the NFL. Our projection is for what this guy can do for University of Michigan, and it appears that he can do a lot.
You're right. And he's a humble kid, man. He had everything all prepared, and he had his family around him. He was crying. His mother was crying. His dad was stoic.
But tell me when you saw that, Mazin, right? Tell me that didn't. What did I tell you? As soon as we came on, as soon as it came on, I said the kid's going to Michigan. I saw he had his speech was prepared out on the phone. He was scrolling through the phone. He thanked God. It was right there. He had his parents right next to him. He thanks his sister, his brothers. Does that not sound like a Michigan kid? That doesn't that sound like Blake Corum every time we see him at the microphone? Every time we saw Donovan Peoples-Jones, every time you see a Michigan kid at the microphone, he sounds and look like Jadyn Davis did. I knew he was going to Michigan.
And he had a T-shirt of his likeness in a Michigan uniform with the number 2. So that's a Will Johnson number right now.
And a Blake Corum number.
And a Blake Corum. Blake's not going to be there.
Blake will be gone when he comes, so he'll get the number 2 on offense.
Not another double number.
Double number. I will say, Braylon, to your point about that, Tom Luginbill, the ESPN recruiting analyst who has been doing this for 30, 40 years, called it a perfect marriage. Michigan needs kids to be all-in, high-quality character kids, and he fits that to a T. You saw both his parents up there, his mother, his father, his brothers and sisters.
He was structured.
Family. He had an outline of what he wanted to do. It was, he talked about God, and, I mean, it was
God,
exactly the kind of player that you think of when you think of Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh has talked about this since he got back to Michigan, since he became the football coach. He said, we want Michigan men. We want Michigan men. Now, I am of the mind that you have to groom Michigan men to become Michigan men once they finish the process. But at the same time, there is a blueprint what you're looking for. There is a kid that you can recognize would be a good Michigan man. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, by God Almighty, he's going to Michigan. We don't even have to watch the rest of this.
Let me read these names for you, okay? Clemson, UNC, Tennessee, Michigan, and Ohio State.
There's only two on there.
Michigan and Ohio State. Michigan and Ohio State. How many times has Michigan beat Ohio State out for a top-ranked quarterback in any class?
Not very.
0.
Yeah.
This thing is moving away from the buck. Bray, you always talk about Ryan Day. I think this, too, highlights a major shift in the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. Not only the 2 wins, the back-to-back wins at home and on the road, but Dylan Raiola, who many people believe is the number 1 quarterback in the class, who previously committed to Ryan Day in Ohio State, has since decommitted to Ryan Day in Ohio State. Jadyn Davis, as a scholarship offer, one of the final 5 in his selection process, picks Michigan over Ohio State. I think this really is spelling the end of the road for Ohio State's dominance in the Big Ten, if it's not already there.
Yeah, it's already over. And then kids can see it, too. Kids and parents can see it. When you look at Ohio State right now, yes, they had the great game against Georgia. They almost beat Georgia. Yes, I will give them that. But kids are not. Kids are smart now. Kids are looking like Ohio State is a mess. Like, it's a show down there. You got people down there saying that they don't trust in Ryan Day's abilities to beat Michigan anymore or be the top dog in the Big Ten. You look at players, it's a transactional school. Players are basically going there, just get on the field, ball out, and then get out of there. There's no family. You come to Michigan, these players are boys. They're brothers. You see them together all the time, and they're winning together. Everything is brotherhood up there in Michigan. Oh, by the way, they're getting paid too. And oh, by the way, they're winning too. So it's not like it's just that Ohio State is winning. Michigan is doing it well, and that's better than Ohio State in the last 2 years. It's a brotherhood, and kids see it.
Speaking of brotherhood, too, one of the guys that led this recruitment, Ron Bellamy, and Kirk Campbell, the quarterback's coach. But the addition of Bellamy to this staff a couple of years ago, to me, has really improved. And I don't think you can underscore what Ron Bellamy has meant to this program.
One of the biggest things that Ron Bellamy has done, and I can speak from experience, he's a damn good recruiter. Ron's a damn good recruiter. Look, I was going to Michigan. My dad went to Michigan, so he didn't have to recruit me hard. But I was just watching Ron tell Jason, not Jason, but I tell the other guys, Marlon Jackson, talk to Tim Massacoy, talk to Kyle Ely and Pat Massos, and get those guys to understand what Michigan is. He sold me again as a recruiter. When he was at Michigan, when he was coaching when he was coaching at West Bloomfield High School, he now had to go through the high school process from the other side. He had to go through his players, watching schools recruit them, how schools recruited, how certain schools were set up to bring in certain talent, what they were looking for out of certain cities. So he knows that side of recruiting. Now he goes back to college. He was made to do this, Ryan Ermanni. Ron Bellamy was made to recruit high school kids. He understands them. He understands their tone, their temperament. He understands the times. He understands the social. Ron Bellamy is damn good at recruiting. Things like this is why you bring him to Michigan and give him a shot. It's paying off already.
Don't count Ohio State out yet, guys. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're better than Michigan, but I mean, you guys are like talking about them like they're freaking Northwestern.
Man, nobody's talking about like Northwestern. Why are you poo-pooing all that? This is Michigan Day. All Ryan simply said was, you want to wait and bring it back?
Yeah, let's continue this conversation. Michigan and Ohio State discussion. Are these two programs going in opposite directions? But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers already? Chili Peppers is usually the last
do what I read on the board.
All right. And if you join Chili Peppers, of course, the Pepper Club. They're going to beat all competitors by $5 on unlimited tanning, and they get the cleanest salons in the D. Plus, it's easy to find Chili Peppers Tanning. 27 locations, more on the way, 2 right here on Woodward Avenue. Get on down there, folks. The hottest deals, the hottest bulbs, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Big day for the Michigan Wolverines and their fans. 5-star quarterback from North Carolina, Providence Day School, Jadyn Davis, picks Michigan over Ohio State, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Clemson. He talked about wanting to commit early to the Michigan program so that he can help bring other highly touted recruits to Ann Arbor for the 2024 class. Michigan football here for a while, seemingly, Braylon. And one of the things, just back we were talking about Michigan and Ohio State and these programs seemingly going in opposite directions. And I know it's kind of hard to talk about that because, you know, they were a field goal away from playing for a national championship this year. They backdoored themselves into the playoff. But at the same time, you are one loss in Ann Arbor away from a firing there in Columbus. And I don't think there's no way Ryan Day survives a 3rd straight loss to Michigan. I just don't believe he does.
Yeah, and we were, a couple seconds away from not losing to freaking Appalachian State in Ann Arbor, but it happened and we lost. Like, it is what it is. They are what they are now. They're a team that can't beat Michigan. They're a team for whatever it is in the second half. Even in the first half, they struggled to beat Michigan. They struggled in the trenches. Michigan, Jim Harbaugh has built this team in the trenches. Linemen on the offensive side, 2 years in a row, they've won that award. 2 years in a row. And on the opposite side, you look at the defensive line, 2 years in a row, you've had studs. They destroy Ohio State. Now, this is where I say it's over. It's not just that Michigan is beating Ohio State. They're having their way with Ohio State. It's not even interesting in the second half, if you will, anymore, especially the fourth quarter. It's just not. The Ohio State fans, they're off on Ryan Day. The kids seem like they're just trying to get basically to the NFL. And look at it this way. For Ohio State to be wide receiver you talk about, look at who's there now. You got the best 2 receivers in the country there now. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. and you got Ibuka. They're 1 and 2 in most polls and 1 and 3 in some polls. Look at who they've had: Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Paris. The list goes on.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
I just said that. Yeah. So why, if I'm one of the best quarterbacks in the country, why would I choose a school that hasn't had a 1,000-yard receiver since since Jeremy Gallon? Why would I choose a place that doesn't throw the ball like that? Why would I choose that place over Ohio State, where I know I can easily be a Haskins or C.J. Stroud or Justin Fields and fall in line? It's because that program's not as good as that program in Ann Arbor, and I know that.
They're getting drafted,
though. Why? Yeah, they're getting, but guess what? They're shortening and shortening and shortening and shortening. You got Paris Jackson and you got a couple receivers this year. Ohio State is shortening and shortening. They used to have 3 DBs in the first round, a lineman. You had a couple Bosa brothers or Chase Youngs. You're not having that anymore. That program is falling apart, and recruits can see it.
And they let Luke Fickell go. Where's he at? Wisconsin now? Luke Fickell, that would have been a great guy to go to Ohio State. Brian Hartline's waiting in line,
He's waiting
for that
He's
kid.
waiting.
I do believe Blackbeard's is in hot water. There's no question about it. He's in hot water.
He's in hot water only there. If this was any other institution in the country, he'd be fine. The fact that it's Ohio State going against Michigan, he's fired if they don't win this year.
You look at J.J. McCarthy and now Jadyn Davis behind him. Michigan has not produced quarterbacks that go to the NFL. They just haven't.
Yeah.
So there is a buy-in to Jim Harbaugh there. I mean, there was a time in Ann Arbor where you went from Jim Harbaugh to Elvis Gerbach, Todd Collins, Brian Griese, Tom Brady, John Navarre, and Chad Henne.
All those guys played in the NFL.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it was like a pipeline to the NFL, Michigan.
Harbaugh,
Gerbach, Collins, Griese, Brady, Navarre, Henne, and then it just stopped. Now, Denard Robinson made it to the NFL. He didn't go in as a quarterback. And Jake Rudock had a cup of coffee in 2015 and a practice squad. But since then, Michigan has produced no quarterbacks in the last 8 years in the NFL. So for McCarthy and Jadyn Davis to buy into whatever Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan football program is selling, I don't think you can underscore that.
That's an NFL guy coaching in Michigan. He has blossomed into the Jim Harbaugh everyone thought that he was going to be. I mean, his low point was losing the trouble with the snap game. That's the low point. And now the high point is back-to-back playoffs, and now you get the number one quarterback recruit or a top 5 quarterback recruit in the country. Things are looking good in Ann Arbor.
This is what I need to see out of J.J. McCarthy this year. Since we're here, since we're on the topic, let's get it out the way. This is what I need to see from J.J. McCarthy and that offensive quarterback and staff this year. I need to see him get better. I need to see J.J. have complete games. Because what you see out of J.J. early on in the year is about 4 or 5 attempts down the field, overthrow everybody. Now the butts get tight. Now they're just throwing little 5-yard completions, or they're running the ball with Corum and Edwards. I need to see J.J. have a complete game, and I'm talking about similar to how he played in the Ohio State game. But even the Ohio State game, a lot of that was just Johnson getting busy. A lot of that was yards after the catch, or it was a trick play, so it's open. I want to see J.J. complete the pass down the field the first time without needing 4, and we cancel it. I want to see some intermediate game. I want to see him going to the outside. I want to see some big inside breaking digs. I want to see some slants. I want to see some change-up. I want to see J.J. look like the quarterback we know he can be, because a lot of times it was inconsistency. The complete game of J.J. last year. I need to see full games.
You tell me, but I feel like the jump from sophomore to junior year, from second year to third year, is a significant jump. I feel in your body, in your mind, in your ability, in your strength. Everything feels like it's a little bit more as a third-year player than a second-year player. I feel like that's a huge jump of a year that you can make.
Yeah, it's the biggest jump there is. Like everything bigger jumped in terms of when I was in Michigan for my sophomore year and to my senior year. Whether it was
sophomore to junior.
Sophomore year, junior. Whether I changed my number too. I went from 80 to 1. But whether it was bench reps, whether it was 40 time, whether it was highs, whether it was my weight, whether it was my understanding of the concepts versus just what I did in my position. Like that's when it really happens. That's when you get busy. That's when you get jiggy. And he's in that realm. You know, he's a sophomore going to his junior. Now but it's so funny. This would be the first year that he's known from the go that he was the guy. Even last year, it was like from January until August, or really till mid-August, it was
still competing.
You know, exactly. So now this is the first time where from January until the season, he's already the guy. That alone changes your confidence. That changes the way you walk, Ryan. Changes the way you walk to the huddle. When you know it's your show, it's no longer, this rep has to be perfect. I have to overthink this because this guy's on my hill, or I'm chasing that guy. When you walk in and it's your huddle, it's your show, all right, look, fellas, this is what we're going to do right here. Look, that's why I need you to, like, just the energy is different. So it's going to be fun to watch him this year.
The energy, the command, no doubt about it. I want to say this, too, about Jim Harbaugh. I owe Jim Harbaugh an apology because when he came out and said Michigan is going to be a transformational experience, not a transactional experience, I thought Michigan football was done at that point. I really did. I thought they were not going to get in to the 21st century in the new way of recruiting, NIL, and giving these kids what they think they want. I thought he'd lose out on a lot of kids because these kids today, it's all about the money. And maybe it's not. Or maybe it can be both. You know, maybe you can take care of them, but maybe you can sell family. Maybe you can sell that. Maybe there are still kids that want to know, and there still are parents that want their kid to be in a family-type atmosphere, and it's not just all about the money. It's not just about how big your paycheck, how big of a paycheck your kid can get you. For a lot of parents, maybe it's not about that. And I thought Michigan football was done at that point when he said that, but I was wrong, clearly, because they are getting some high talented kids, 4 stars, 5 stars.
But you've always heard Braylon say you can't compete with just one. You need a bunch, and that's the difference between getting in a playoff, winning the Big Ten, and winning the whole banana.
Also, too, don't actually say you owe Jim Harbaugh an apology, and I'll say why you don't. When Jim Harbaugh said we're not a transactional institution or we're a transformational institution, they're coming off a season where they were 2-6. They're coming off a season where they dodged Ohio State because they act like they had COVID. They're coming off 3 years of just getting destroyed by Ohio State, not being where they should be in the Big Ten alone, let alone the national appeal. They weren't where they should have been in the Big Ten over those years, and then he comes out and say that. So what we were looking at was, here it comes again. Here's another mediocre year. Here's another we lost again. Here's another Ohio State blew them out. That's what we were looking towards. And then it didn't happen because they had that year they finished 12-1, beat Ohio State, and then they do it a year ago. They did it 2 years back to back to back. But before he said that, they weren't looking good. So you don't owe them necessary apology, but I get it though.
Yeah, you understand. It's just one of those things that it's an exciting time. Michigan football spring game. When's the spring game, Maz? Do you know that?
I don't.
Coming up in a couple of weeks, though.
It's in April.
Early
April.
Is it next Saturday?
Not this Saturday. Coming the following. Is that Easter? Is it Easter Saturday?
It's not going to be Easter
Easter's
Saturday.
the 9th, April 9th.
I know, that's-
so maybe April 8th. I don't know. Or
Yeah,
wait
so it'd
the
be
week
that
Is
Saturday.
it Easter Saturday?
Maybe not. Maybe the week after.
I don't know. Hey,
figure it
man.
out.
Michigan's going to compete for championships, though, and I don't think you
4
can,
years to come.
I don't think you can undersell the fact too that the Big Ten and the SEC are really the only two places to be.
That's it.
Right? I mean, in 2024, this kid is going to come to Michigan, and he's going to get a chance to play against USC and UCLA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when those two teams come in here.
I wonder how much that made a decision.
I think it's a
easier.
really big deal, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the Big Ten is nationwide.
Isn't that so?
East Coast,
Nationwide is
West
on
Coast,
your side.
East Coast, West Coast. I mean, the Big Ten is everywhere.
We'll get you in a nationwide commercial. You gotta see how your vocals are.
That'll be
man.
fine. Hey, guys, we're going to transition to a little Lions talk next. Dave Birkett, Detroit Free Press, going to join us on the phone. We'll talk to him. Interesting tidbit about
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter.
Gotcha.
As well, I got up my Jalen's and Jadens and all these mixed up. Apparently, several teams do not have Jalen Carter on their draft board. Are the Lions one of them? I'm not sure we know that answer yet, but we can suspect.
I think we do.
I think we can suspect.
Maybe.
That'd be a safe assessment.
We'll talk about it next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts. Have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people. They've got your back. That's right. Call this number right here. 1-800-STAY-OUT. 1-800.
Stay out.
Call him today. Tell him Woodward Sports sent you.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
You know what time it is. It's big boy time, and it's Friday, so you know it. It is the Seafood Fest, and, well, the time is running down on the Lenten season, so get on down to Big Boy and try these great stuff out. Some favorites, the shrimp Alfredo, the shrimp stir fry, and the new fish sandwich. And tonight, it is the all-you-can-eat fish fry buffet. All you can eat, folks, at Big Boy.
Welcome back, WoodwardSports.com, Fox2Detroit.com. If you're watching live, we appreciate it. Want to make a correction. The Michigan spring game is tomorrow at 2:30. How about that, Tom Mazawey? Good catch by you, my friend.
MSU is April 15th.
Who?
MSU?
Oh, yeah. Tuck coming.
Yeah.
That's right. Very good, guys. Hey, let's talk a little Lions. Now let's do so with one of our faves, the great Dave Birkett, Detroit Free Press Lions Beat. You can follow him on Twitter at Dave Birkett. Dave, thanks so much, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing great.
Good,
Michigan nabbed top quarterback today, so doing okay, Dave.
Good day in Wolverine land, for sure.
That's right, my friend. That's right. Hey,
Maybe the Lions will pick a quarterback by then.
yeah, right. Hey, it's been a couple of good weeks in Lions land. At least we believe it's been a couple of good weeks in Lions land. Dave, after the owners' meeting and the league meetings in Phoenix, Arizona out there, what should Lions fans what should they look for? I mean, Dan Campbell was very hopeful about this year competing with the big boys.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, that was the expectation coming out of last season. It should be the expectation after free agency. And, I kind of wrote this the other day that they were, they're one of the buzziest teams in the NFL, I think. Just that there's a lot of people that sort of look at them and say, oh, man, this team really could win some games, and not just in the regular season. Like, they have a shot to win the division. You do that, you get a home playoff game, and maybe you get a postseason win or two. So nothing's guaranteed, of course, but, they added 3 new starters in free agency to that defensive backfield. They've got 2 first-round picks to add some depth to this team. They don't have any real glaring holes. So if I was a Lions fan, I think my team's in a pretty good spot right now.
Dave, what's going on, brother? It's Braylon. Hey, quick thought. I ran this by the guys the other day. Something I don't think people had a chance to think about. Look at Goff's success last year. I'm going to just play devil's advocate and have some fun. Look at Goff's success last year. 4,800 yards, 29 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Like, he played extremely well last year. Played better than anybody thought he could. He played exactly where he needed to in terms of to give us some belief in him. Now, last year he plays with Amon-Ra St. Brown, his pure target. At tight end, he had Huck for 6-7 games, and they were indecisive in those games with him. No other real tight end usage the majority of the season. DJ Chark in and out of a lot of games, so no real usage by him. And then DeAndre Swift. He's in, he's out. They use him, they move him. Jamal Williams. What I'm trying to get at, for Goff to play that well with a very indecisive offensive unit, one that wasn't always on there together, a lot of different moving parts, should we give him the benefit of the doubt and thinking if they put some pieces in front of him, some consistent pieces, he might be the answer for the future? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's that's what the Lions people would tell you, right? Like, I've had this conversation with people before that there's a lot of recency bias and not talking about his time in Detroit, but his time in LA when he came here, right? People look at how it ended and maybe not understanding exactly what was going on with Sean McVay and saying, hey, there's more to this guy, right? He was the quarterback of the Rams when they went to the Super Bowl, and then you look how he played last year. I do think it wouldn't be wrong to think that maybe the Lions got a steal in Goff. Now, I would say this though, he was playing behind a really, really good offensive line, and
very true.
That's the case again this year. And as well as Braylon, you're right that there maybe are or were some questions about his supporting cast, but it's pretty good when you compare it to some of the other spots in the NFL. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a really good receiver, and it was complete, at least. Maybe not a superstar receiver or tight end, especially after they traded away Hawkinson, but it was complete. And so I think Jared Goff has a lot to work with. I think he's better than a lot of people have given him credit for, but I still don't think anyone, including the people that really like him, would put him in that Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow type category where he's the end all be all at the position.
Well,
Okay,
Dave,
appreciate it.
you know where I stand on the quarterback, Dave. I do like Goff, but I do think it's time to reach for the future. But that said, bringing Marvin Jones in here. Marvin Jones comes back to the Lions. We lose DJ Chark, of course. What's the difference between those two guys? And do you think Marvin Jones will fit this style of an offense?
I do. I mean, I think Marvin and DJ are fairly similar. I mean, DJ's a little bit bigger. But Marvin is sort of a contested, deep ball, guy too, right? He's a guy that he's not going to wow you with the blazing speed necessarily, but when he was here that first go round with Stafford, I mean, he made some great catches where it looked like he was covered, and Stafford just put it up, and Marv went up and got it. And so, you pair that with Jameson and his speed on the outside. Certainly, you have Amon-Ra, working the underneath. I do think Marvin can be an effective receiver for the Lions. Now, look, he's older than Chark. He's coming off just at least statistically what appeared to be kind of a so-so season in Jacksonville. But I do like the signing as sort of an extra security blanket and some more veteran depth at that wide receiver position.
Talking to Dave Birkett, Detroit Free Press Lions beat. Dave, I wanted to ask you about Jalen Carter. We saw a report yesterday that the I can't stop that. The Las Vegas Raiders have taken Jalen Carter off their draft board totally.
Several teams.
And now today we've seen a report that perhaps several teams have taken Jalen Carter off their draft boards. What do you make of this? What do you know of this? Dan Campbell talked about Carter and some things that he found interesting, quote unquote. Did you read between the lines there in Dan Campbell's love or not love of Jalen Carter?
Yeah, and to add to that, I mean, I think there was a report last week from TV folk, and you know how those people are, Ryan, that would not be considering Jalen Carter with their top 10 pick either. So look, I think there's a lot of smoke there, and to say he's not on your draft board, look, there's always a risk reward. So maybe at 8 you're not drafting him, but at 18 you would be. And I think look, the Lions have a decision to make. They're doing lots of homework on him. That includes bringing him in for a pre-draft visit. I wrote that the other day, and I asked Dan at the owners' meetings. He was. He's getting all these questions about, dealing with character risks and if the locker room is good enough to handle him and, what you need to see. And I said, hey, we're talking about Jalen Carter here. And he said, yeah, we do all this homework on him. And we actually talked to a guy last week from Georgia about him. And he had some interesting things to say. And I said, well, were those good or bad? Well, they were interesting. And, just the way he answered it led me to believe that it raised more questions about, his practice habits or his work ethic or whatever it may be. So, I think, and I put this in my last mock, I would not have the Lions taking Jalen Carter right now. We still have, 3-4 weeks until the draft, so there's definitely time for that to change. The Lions are doing all their homework on him, but, I'm not sure that he's the right fit for that locker room, just given what I know right now.
Dave, what about Anthony Richardson? He had his pro day yesterday and ended the session with a flip. I mean, this kid just looks like he's got all the freaking tools, man. Do you believe there's any chance he's even going to be there at 6?
Yeah, you threw me off because I was expecting Maz to ask.
I wanted to, Dave, but I wanted to wait.
Hey, Dave, it's going to be one of them. Somebody's coming at you with the Anthony Richardson.
Hey, the Pro Football Focus has him mocked to the Lions. They have the Lions moving up to 3 to get him.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Wait till you see what they gave up.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before. Look, I've been in the quarterback camp for a while for the Lions, right? Because I truly believe, like, if you in the NFL, right, if you get that, if you find your Mahomes, like, you're going to win not just this year, but you're going to win for a decade plus, right? And so I've long believed that, and I've long thought the Lions need to go about getting their guy if they could identify him. I don't think the Lions are drafting a quarterback this year. Richardson looks super tantalizing. He's a long way away, though. And, I mean, Bryce Young's a guy that's going to come in and start right away, and C.J. Stroud's a guy that's going to come in and start right away.
For bad teams.
For bad teams. But, Anthony Richardson needs a year of development. And, if he's sitting or 2 or whatever it may be, different than Trey Lance, but I point to the Trey Lance thing where everyone said, well, this guy's only got, 15 starts under his belt or whatever he had. And, 2 years later, he still only got 15 starts. So how has he gotten better? And I think, that's part of the conundrum with Anthony Richardson is that he needs to play, probably to get some of the things worked out, the footwork or the accuracy or whatever it may be. And he's not going to get a lot of reps, even if he comes to a team like Detroit that seems like a great situation for him where he can sit and learn and there's no pressure, but maybe he's not getting the on-field experience that he needs. So I would have no problem with the Lions taking Anthony Richardson. I think he's a really exciting player. There's plenty to dream on there. I just don't see the Lions pulling the trigger on that one.
Dave, I want to ask you about two of your columns that you wrote, two really good pieces on players that could be a factor or not this year with the Lions. One is Vaitai. How do you see that guard position playing out? There's three guards there with Jonah Jackson, Vaitai, and Glasgow, really.
None of them assigned past next year.
Right. How do you see that really shaking out?
Yeah, throwing a fourth with whoever they draft, right?
Exactly, because they will take somebody.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, Jonah obviously is locked in at left guard, and he's a guy that is a candidate for an extension. The right guard spot is the one that's TBD, and I think if Vaitai is healthy, he's the guy that has the edge there. I know the Lions said they got some optimistic reports on him here recently, and I would guess that would give him the slight edge over Glasgow. Glasgow, to me, even though we all see him as a starter here because of what he's done in the past, to me he seems a lot like their Evan Brown, right, where he can play center if Ragnow gets hurt, he can play guard if Vaitai gets hurt. And that doesn't mean he's not going to start because, again, he has that experience. But I would think first snap of camp, if Vaitai is healthy, he's the guy that's taking that first snap at right guard.
And then the other piece that I really liked was just talking about Jeff Okudah and where his place on the Lions is. Dave, I asked Dre Bly about him yesterday. Dre Bly was on our show yesterday, and I asked him about it, and he said, look, the most important thing you got to figure out if you're a player is you have to be available. That's number one. And this is a player who just has not been able to play a full season yet as a Lion. How do you see that part of it shaken out with Jeff Okudah in training camp?
Yeah, look, give Dan Campbell credit for his honesty. When I asked him about Jeff Okudah at the owners' meetings, and he said, well, we signed three guys, and obviously, they're pretty good players, and that doesn't mean they're going to start, but they probably will. I mean,
right?
He was really honest about it, and that's the way I look at the secondary too. Those three guys that they brought in, they're starting, and Jerry Jacobs is probably your fourth cornerback, and so, Jeff Okudah is your second backup option on the outside right now. And look, I just, that's a big fall from grace for, a number 3 overall pick from a couple years ago. I think Jeff did some good things last year. Whatever the reason, whether it's health or confidence or, just not developing like they thought because of those injuries, it just hasn't quite happened for him here yet. And he's still a young guy, and I certainly wouldn't give up on him right now or even this season. But the Lions have a decision to make on his 5th-year option. And given what he's shown on the field so far and the cost of that tag, it's about $11 million guaranteed. I think this is probably Jeff's last season in Detroit.
All right, Dave, before we let you go, give us number 6 and number 18 right now. Your new mock right here on Woodward Sports. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I'll probably do another mock next week.
I know you will.
Because it's every 2 weeks here, and that's when the next one will be coming. Look, I still wouldn't have them taking Jalen Carter, but, if he's there, he has to be considered. I mean, I think Tyree Wilson, if he's there, pass rusher from Texas Tech, I think he's the guy, just because Brad Holmes really likes those defensive linemen. That's how he wants to build. Tyree Wilson is, you look at him and he's built like you'd want a defensive end to be built, 6'6" and big and long and, can sort of do everything. Needs a lot of coaching. But I think the Lions believe in the teachers that they have on staff. And so, to me, if he's there at number 6, I think he's the guy that the Lions take.
Hey, I'm telling you like this, Dave. At 18, I wouldn't be surprised. Jordan Addison, I'm okay with that. Jordan Addison, I'm okay with that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. One of the best in the business. Subscribe to the Free Press. Dave Birkett, Detroit Free Press, Freep.com, Lions Beat, on Twitter, at Dave Birkett. Dave, thanks for joining us on short notice. We really appreciate it, my man.
You got it, guys. We'll talk to you again.
You
Play,
guys,
buddy. Have a good weekend.
Subscribe to the Free Press, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely. We're going to take a break. Come right back. We'll talk a little Lions next, and a fill in the blank Friday ahead too. Some good ones. Tom Mazawey with some questions. But first, a message from Custom Health Centers. Down 20. That's right, baby.
Look at you,
know
brother.
what time it is. Custom Health Centers help me lose my target weight loss goal of 20 pounds, whether it's 20 pounds or 120 pounds. Custom Health Centers has a customized approach for your weight loss needs, what your body requires to lose weight. Give them a call today, 844-789-THIN, 844-789-THIN.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan.
Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals in town. Plus, they will beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
We just talked to Dave Birkett in one of the things we all expect. I think it's fair to say, let's take a show of hands. We all expect Jalen Carter to be on the board at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all expect him to be on the board at 6. What a sad situation. Like, if you we're talking about this player and is he going to fall to 6 or fall to 18? Is he not on 7 teams' draft boards? Like, that's pretty freaking sad. Like, this is a great player. This is somebody's life. Like, I don't know. We sometimes you catch yourself because you're talking about human beings here and how their life is, their adult life is going to play out, or the next phase of their life. We talk about them like they're products, and they are. Yeah, they're football players, and you are the product when But nonetheless, it's such a sad story. This is the number 1 player in the draft if everything is right.
Look, I don't want to come out and say things not knowing exactly what people are saying about him, what's true or what's not true. But I can say is people just like to pile up on people. Like, people like to feel important. People like to feel necessary. Like, I guarantee you some of these people that are the anonymous sources are like people that work in the building, people that may have seen him come late to a workout one time, people that have not even seen anything but thought they saw something. Like, yeah, I saw him get into it with one of his teammates. Yeah, that's what brothers do. They fight. Like, I guarantee you a lot of this stuff that's coming out, just BS stuff, a lot of it made up, and then a lot of it, even if it was something, it's the smallest level of not anything, but people are tagging on. Now, once you have a major fact or major matter like what happened to him in January, now these little things, they compile on it, and it makes the whole situation collapse. So it's just a bunch of BS stuff too, man. At least that's the way because I've seen this before, where people will talk about a player because they didn't like that player, and then something arises and someone asks them a question. Hey, do you know this kid, Jalen Carter? What do you think about him? Nobody cares, man. It's BS. Go ahead.
Or it's a bunch of teams that are either going to draft a quarterback early or they're picking a little bit later in the first round that want this kid to fall today.
That's part of the game that I was going to mention next. That's part of the slimy part of the game that I hate. You're toying with somebody here as a puzzle piece, as like a little game. Let's say this about this player so that he falls to us at a later pick. Let's ruin this kid's reputation now. Yeah. Let's say what we can say about him now so Seattle doesn't take him at 5. So Detroit doesn't take him at 6. So the Raiders can take him at 7. You know what I mean? That's the unsavory part of this whole situation.
Well, that's the NFL in a nutshell.
Understand it. But that's part of the negativity that I hate around the draft.
But this is what I talk about when I talk to fans, and fans say, like, when they judge players based off money, like, you make this, everything is cool, or you make that, everything is cool, or just shut up and play football, like, or shut up and play basketball. there are a lot of things that go on outside the game or go outside behind the lines, like things like this where how would you feel if somebody just made up something about you just to make it up, just so that they could get you, just so that they can procure you at a lower position? Something completely not true. But then when you run into people that you've never met, they're like, oh yeah, that's him, that's the rapist. Oh yeah, that's him, that's the alcoholic, or that's him, that's the violent guy, that's him, that's the wait, none of these things are true, but they already think that thing because people can put these things out. I tell you, man, being an athlete, man, being under that microscope, it's a tough place.
Guys, I want to get to Fill in the Blank Friday, top of the hour, okay? We'll do that in the top of the hour. In the meantime, did you realize a major event is happening tomorrow?
I do.
You do?
Of course.
A major event is happening
Spring
tomorrow.
Game?
Yes, it is the Michigan Spring Game, but also after the Michigan Spring Game, there is a basketball tournament. It is called the Final Four.
Really?
Oh, wow. Look at that.
It is called the Final Four. It is happening tomorrow.
It is?
San Diego State, the 5 seed, taking on Florida Atlantic. That's the early game. The night game, 5 Miami, 4 UConn. And there you go. And tickets for this, you can see the national championship game, by the way, for $75.
Probably less.
For less than $75.
I got one better. If you sit on your couch, you can watch it for free.
Listen to me.
If you choose to watch it.
I have never in my life heard less about the Final Four than this year.
You've probably never watched ESPN less in your life, though, either.
No, I haven't. But are they really bringing it up?
Yeah, this is.
I don't know. I see more women's stuff.
I was waiting for it.
I mean, I
the guys at the bowling alley last night brought up Caitlin Clark.
I was waiting for it. You know that's my girl. I told you. You guys thought I was joking. I'm telling you. Women has dominated. The game is tonight, by the way, man. You guys got to watch.
Who plays tonight?
Louisville plays tonight, man. You got to watch Louisville and South Carolina, I do believe.
Oh, man. And who does Caitlin Clark
No, they beat. I'm sorry. Caitlin Clark beat Louisville. She plays for Iowa.
Oh, okay.
She plays for Iowa. They're trying to keep South Carolina. They're trying to keep South Carolina and Iowa away from each other.
LSU, Vatek at 7 versus, the second game, of course, the nightcap, Iowa and South Carolina at 9:30. Those games are from Tampa.
There we go.
There's your Final Four for
South
the women
Carolina
tonight, the boys tomorrow.
By the way, Dawn Staley would be she'd be the 5th highest paid NCAA coach.
Wow.
Men or women, just throwing that out.
That's wild. But yeah, I do like this Final Four.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like it. I don't care for college basketball. It doesn't do for me what it once did for me. But I will watch it. I will watch. I'm not going to sit there on my couch and watch like a fan, but I will have it on. And have it on in the background and pay attention to the last 3 minutes.
I watch I'm trying to think when college basketball, because obviously even though it's
jumped the shark for me.
Even though it's at an all-time low right now, but it's been going down for a while. I think the last time I really was in. I think is when Michigan lost to Kansas.
If these were big schools, you'd be in it.
I think with Michigan.
I don't even know if I would be, to be honest with you.
But what I'm saying, Matt, but I'm saying even last year. I watched it because I was in the the Woodward Sports Challenge bracket challenge. I watched it. There were bigger, but it still was I haven't really been into it. Maybe since
Michigan was in it.
Well, even that year it was I was cheering for Michigan, but I wasn't really into it. I was cheering for Michigan, but I really wasn't into it. All right, it would have been Kentucky when they were undefeated and they lost to Wisconsin. I was like, this stuff's rigged. There's no way these kids beat Kentucky. That was the last time I was in. I think Duke won that championship that year.
The only thing that would make me into this tournament right now is if my local team was in it. If Michigan was in it, if Michigan State was in it, that's the only. You could give me a Final Four of Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, and UCLA, and I probably would watch the same amount of time that I'll watch tomorrow night. College basketball to me is just not a good game.
If you gave me 4 Blue Bloods, I'll watch it.
I don't think the game is good. It's not good basketball. I don't think. I don't think the NBA is good basketball. I think basketball sucks.
It does. You're right. It does.
Basketball has totally gone down the toilet.
I put it to you like this way. I still like the Nets getting cut down, so maybe I won't watch the first half, but I'll definitely watch the second half.
Yeah, as a sports fan, you'll watch the end of the game.
Jim Nance's last Final Four is this weekend. Jim Nance. Hello, friends.
Oh, God.
This is Final Four.
Please vomit.
What? You don't like Jim Nantz?
He's fine, but Jim Nantz, I don't like people who always make it about themselves.
He don't make it about
He
himself.
makes it about. Let me
Just
give you.
because he gives his tie
let me
away
give you
for the
this
championship
tie.
team.
This tie. Let me give you my tie. You know what I mean? That's what he sounds. He sounds like he belongs at Bushwood. You know what I mean?
You don't like him calling a football game?
My tie.
You don't like him and Tony? Tony? You don't like him? Come on.
I think Mr. Nantz has had a great career. It's
Political answer.
Guys,
That's political answer.
You suck.
Guys that make it about themselves,
You
I'm
suck.
not into.
He likes all the other guys you like.
He calls a great game.
He calls a fine game, but
Him, Bill Raftery, Grant Hill.
he calls a really good
Grant
game.
Hill.
I just don't. I don't like
onions.
I don't like people who make it about themselves.
Right.
Well,
I
then
don't-
then you had to hate Al Michaels, like I did.
I didn't hate Al Michaels.
He did a game watching himself in a mirror. I can guarantee you
I
that.
don't hate Al Michaels, but my guys are like Keith Jackson
Oh, my
and
goodness.
Brent Musburger. I
are
love
looking
Gus Johnson
live.
on
You
Fox.
got
Gus
Tourette's.
Johnson on Fox makes it about the game on the field.
Yeah.
Next
Makes
year,
it about
Iron Eagle takes
makes
over,
it about
by
the
the way.
players
Iron
in the
Eagle.
game.
Just to let
Iron
you know.
Eagle makes it about the players in the game. It's just how I feel about it.
I was just waving to the other people out there. I'm still here.
By the way, the NIT championship
Well,
was last
anytime we
night.
talk about announcers, we get dorky about it.
I know. I'm here. I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm just
Did you watch the NIT last night? The final?
Oh, it happened?
Yeah.
Who played?
The Mean Green of North Texas
Never
is the
in
champion.
time.
They beat UAB. North Texas wins the NIT.
NIT is this weekend.
Fletch, you're awesome, man.
What did he do to me? Oh, Jesus. Oh, come on, Fletch. I'm bringing the people up to date.
The NIT is Saturday and Sunday.
No,
And
the NIT was last night. It's over.
NIT is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday because that's what you might as well call NCAA tournament. It's horrible. It's terrible.
You guys suck.
The
All right, hold on.
The
All right, hold
tournament
on.
sucks.
The
tournament sucks.
Last night I'm at the bowling alley, and we put on.
I'd rather watch bowling.
Does Billy Packer still call?
He
the
died
Final
this
Four?
year. Billy Packer just died.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Rest in peace,
Rest
Billy
in peace,
Packer.
Billy Packer.
Listen, last night I'm at the bowling alley, and I
When
put
the
on the
joke goes
baseball
too
game.
far.
It's the Astros getting their rings.
Right.
They're playing the White Sox. Great game. Dylan Cease one-hitting Houston through 7.
Right.
They wind up winning.
That's good.
But here's the kicker. I said that again, didn't I? Here's the kicker. Did you see the did you see the first pitch of the game? The ceremonial
Megan
first pitch?
the Stallion.
I almost fell off my
What?
I almost fell off the
Come
desk.
on, MLB. Come through, MLB.
Listen, she looked unbelievable.
Tremendous.
Look at boy. Y'all,
Unbelievable.
y'all listen after that, but
You gotta see. You don't read just because it's Friday. You don't look at the text thread.
It's too
Go
much.
look at your text thread right now, and you'll see her.
You sent some thickness.
Yes.
Yeah, and she had a beautiful stroll to
Holy
the mound.
crap.
And her throw wasn't that
wasn't
bad.
bad.
Send some of that goodness.
She didn't turn around, if you notice, and I mean, she had her back to the audience, if
Right.
you know what I mean,
Back.
for most of the first pitch.
Ta-da.
That's all I gotta say. I almost threw a gutter ball. That's all I gotta say.
Maz, speaking
Maz
of gutter
ain't-
balls,
Maz ain't never seen
I
no ass
sucked
like
last
that.
you didn't throw any turkeys?
No, I sucked. I threw a couple
Never
times.
seen nothing like
no
that.
4-baggers?
I averaged like 190 last night.
How many times you didn't walk
Garbage.
out with no money again?
did.
No,
that.
no money. You want to know what happened? We got the strike ball ticket picked again.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Here's the kicker: when you shut up with that. When you get strike ball tickets are
And I'm
$5
still in this
each.
picture.
They're
this
expensive.
video you sent me.
They're expensive. So you have to throw the first strike, you win $500.
Yeah.
And then you get a chance to throw another one for $1,000. But if you don't get a strike, you don't get anything.
Yeah, you told us.
So last night we
you
threw
do
the
it?
first one. Mike Luceni, great shot. We win $500. So he looks at us. You want me to go?
Oh,
He looks at us. You want me to go again? One guy's like, no, take the money. I'm like, go for it, Mike. You're bowling great. The other guy jumped on.
Now,
Go for
now
it.
if he makes it, what do you get?
$1,000.
Oh my gosh!
Did Megan Thee Stallion come on the TV when
Yeah.
he was shooting?
Yeah. He left the 10 pin.
No.
So we got
he left
nothing.
the 10 pin.
And then
so who gets that pot then? Who gets that 500?
it just rolls to next
rolls
week.
over.
Oh my god!
We got $50. That's what we got. $50 that we'll use next week to get in again. But
How much is the ticket to buy the strike ball?
say it again.
How much?
$5.
$5.
Yeah, $5.
How many people get picked?
We had like $16,000 in pots last night.
Oh my gosh!
So 16 different pots for $1,000. I mean, they spend some money at this place.
Did Larry Foote get anything?
Foote goes tonight, but he never gets in strike ball with us. He doesn't get in strike ball. He says hi, by the way, to the guys.
Tell myself it was good.
He does.
I'm still looking at this video, man.
I always call him Coach. I'm like, come on, Coach.
Oh, my gosh. That's great. All right, guys, fill in the blank Friday now.
Oh, Megan, these stallions.
The first message from Fairway Packing Company.
Good
Hey,
God.
Friday. You want to elevate your dinner? Go to Fairway Packing
Holy
Company. The retail store on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods. It is the best place. You got their vacuum-packed bags of steaks. Detailed what they are, how much they are. It's like a refrigerator. You just open it up. And you look and you see what you got.
See what you got.
If you can't make it there, you can always order online. They ship anywhere. Family owned and operated since 1956. Burgers, steaks, pork chops, tomahawks, whatever the case you want, they've got it for you. Fairway Packing Company. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. Source, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
Pack.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, join the Woodward Sports family and over 100,000 other sports fans for the biggest parties for Detroit's home opener coming up on Thursday already. We'll be broadcasting live from the Grand Slam Festival, 350 Madison Avenue, from the biggest tent party in the D. Or check in with the Woodward Sports team at the block party with the Brass Rail, Love It Tequila, and the Annex. Baseball season is here, and we're the only city that can handle Woodward Sports. We'll see you in the D.
Very good. Hour number 2 of the program.
I'll tell you, Cincinnati can throw a party too.
Yeah?
I watched yesterday. Their opening day rivals ours.
I mean, some of the opening day stuff was great. Did you see Adam Wainwright singing the national
You bet
anthem?
I did. I thought it was great.
The pop from that crowd felt like a WWE event
Stadium.
when you hear the glass for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
They love their team.
Speaking of that, WrestleMania tomorrow and Sunday.
Pretty good.
You going to waste your money on that?
Peacock is free.
Well, you got the cheater box.
Yeah, no, it's on Peacock. It's free with
Peacock.
Peacock. There's some good matches.
Subscription.
We
know Cody Rhodes is going on with the
Final
with
Four
the
is going
American
on.
Nightmare.
He's gonna break it up, man. Am I lying?
Oh, look at
Am I lying,
JB.
JB?
JB turns on his mic now.
Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. Is he not gonna win Sunday?
Oh, he's taking home both titles.
100.
He's going on vacation.
Hey,
But Braylon, you can't watch it on Sunday. The girls' final is Sunday.
You said what?
The women's final is on Sunday.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's fine. I can watch that early and then tape it.
Hey, JB, what's the most important match on Saturday?
It would probably have to be
Bloodline and Sami Zayn and
John Cena and Austin Theory.
John Cena is back.
Yeah, they played me with that one though, because it was supposed to be Roman and The Rock. They've been setting that up for like 3 years, and then last second they pulled a fast one on us in January.
I don't mind that though, a little bit. Don't you got to get out of that and into this new? You can't just keep making The Rock or Stone Cold or John Cena main event, can you?
It depends, because what happens is, like, once guys retire, once guys go to that next echelon, they still keep them around until they can physically no longer go. I mean, hell, Goldberg just had a match last year. Like, they keep you around until you physically can't go anymore. Undertaker was 2 years ago. So I think as of of the icons that are no longer full-timers, you only got like 3 or 4 of them left that can come back and be that icon match. You got Cena, you got The Rock. Batista just had his match with Triple H 2 years ago, so he's probably out of it, but maybe Batista. Like, it's not too many icons you can keep. You can't keep pulling The Undertaker and doing the WrestleMania match. You can't keep pulling Shawn Michaels out of here. It's over.
There's no doubt about it. Looking forward to the Hall of Fame inductions as well. Stacy Keibler going in. I'm a big fan of Stacy Keibler.
She's still around?
No, Hall of Famer. She quit the business.
Yeah.
She's a mom.
I haven't heard her name in years.
Yeah.
She used to be.
She's going to the Hall of Fame. You know who else is going into the Hall of Fame? Andy Kaufman in the celebrity wing.
Yeah, he is.
Andy Kaufman
from Taxi?
Rey Mysterio.
So Andy Kaufman might be, they said, and this is all wrestlers at that time, because he had that running feud with Jerry King Lawler. They said that he actually protected the business, like even when he was done wrestling, like that whole the injuries and all that, he faked that stuff for like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months after he was done with wrestling. They say he really stayed in character.
Listen, that last 5 minutes, you might as well have been talking Greek to me. I haven't followed one thing.
What about the great Muta? He is going into the WWE
Never heard of him.
as well.
He should spit the green stuff on you.
Let me know when D-Mac is out there. Then I'll watch.
Bruno San Martino, there you go.
I know Bruno.
Yeah, I know you do.
I know the old guys.
There you go.
All right, gang. Fill in the blank Friday. Here we go, Tom Mazawey.
Here we go. And we'll start it off with our favorite topic, Jalen Carter. Blank will draft Jalen Carter.
Falcons.
Oh God, that's what I was gonna say too.
That's why I said. That's why I jumped out and said,
"Wow."
I'm going Falcons. I think it's the same thing we talk about the Tigers. Calais Campbell signs with them. He's down the street in Athens. If anybody knows about this situation with Jalen Carter, it's gonna be the people from the Falcons, because I mean Athens and Atlanta are only so far apart. Jalen Carter.
Okay, I'm gonna go off the board a little bit and say the Lions at 18. I think he is gonna go on a little bit of a free fall. And if the hometown Falcons don't take him, I think he waits to 18. I mentioned this the other day. I'll mention it again. I think Jalen Carter ultimately gets taken by a team that has 2 first-round draft picks, because you can't miss on a first-round draft pick unless you have 2 or that is a quarterback.
That's an interesting thought, too, because, just that fall by itself can kind of shape the mind of Jalen Carter. You're talking about a guy that was projected to go number 1 overall, and now he goes 18. There's a process with waiting in between pick after pick after pick. It does something to your psyche. If you don't believe me, ask number 12 for the Green Bay Packers. He's still pissed about what happened in 2005. Okay. When you're waiting in between picks, it does something to your mind. It makes you angry, it makes you mad, and it makes you want to work. It makes you want to get that money back you lost. So if he failed us at 18, that could be a good thing.
All right, I've got the whole mystery solved for you. You ready?
Yep.
What team was supposed to draft number 1?
The Chicago Bears.
The Chicago Bears were the ones to start all these rumors. And then they make the trade with Carolina, and they're still going to get him at number 9. The Chicago Bears, he does not go past the Monsters of the Midway at 9.
I like it. The Falcons are 8, so I hope they're 8, but that's not a bad pick. I can see that happening. You talking about playing the game. Say, here, come get these picks from us. Yeah, he's a bad guy. Don't get him. Oh, yeah, man, I wouldn't do that. With the 9th pick in the 2000s.
Just a thought, right?
It's not bad.
All right, here we go. Question number 2. The Lions will draft blank at number 6.
Every Friday. Go ahead, Ryan.
You're going to hate this.
I think I know.
You're going to hate this, but I'm just going best available player on ESPN rankings. Overall best available player on ESPN's rankings, that's who I'm going to go with. The 6th best player available on ESPN, Bijan Robinson, number 6 overall in the big board. Bijan Robinson, running back, Texas. They're going to get him somewhere.
No.
Look at 6.
Hard pass.
Okay.
Hey, that's that man's opinion.
They're going to take him somewhere. The Lions are going to take Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson is going to the Cowboys. He's going to the Cowboys. 6, Detroit Lions. I mean, I've said everything at 6. Christian Gonzalez. Why not?
Christian Gonzalez is the number 7 player on the ESPN big board.
Is he really? He's moved up?
Yeah.
Why not? Christian Gonzalez.
How the hell did that happen?
You look at what they have. They have some great potentials here at the Detroit Lions. They got some guys that play, but you still need one more. I think they still need that guy that's their guy, the guy that they draft. You talk about what I've heard about him in the draft. He was good at Colorado. Then he was good over at Oregon as well. Said he was phenomenal at the combine, much like Anthony Richardson. 41-inch vert. Long hands, like 11'5" broad jump, 4.38. I'm going Christian Gonzalez.
All right.
What about you?
I'm having a hard time with this one because we've already said that Jalen's going to drop.
There's no stud there.
He's not taking. They're not taking him. We already know they're not taking him at 6.
Bottom line, we have no idea who they're going to take at 6.
We really don't.
None. We don't even know if they're going to pick at 6.
Right, so I'm just
a bunch of blowhards.
I'm not even going to throw a player out there.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Bunch of blowhards.
Because at the end of the day, we understand that he's working on the deal. Like that's what I believe. I believe he's working on trying to make a move. I just don't know what the hell that move is. So
moving up, moving down.
Here's another guy that we can't stand talking about anymore. Lamar Jackson will play for blank this season, and I don't mean play for zero money. I mean for what team?
Baltimore Ravens.
No one.
Baltimore Ravens.
I think he sits out. I don't think he's playing for Baltimore.
He's going to piss all that money away?
Yep.
What good is that?
Baltimore or nobody.
Look what happened to, what's his name, the running back from Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell. By the way, have you seen him lately? He looks like a beast.
Really?
He knocked out Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
I'm just making stuff up. I'll go with him, Baltimore.
Really?
I don't think they're going to be able to get rid of him.
Where's he going? Nobody's going to pick the deal up. I told you that because nobody's touching that deal. Hey, nobody's going to touch that. Nobody's not nibbled at that apple yet. And nobody has nibbled at that apple. You're talking about a quarterback. You're talking about we're now in April. You want your quarterback to be somewhere by March. You want him to be there definitely by April. Hell, you don't want to slip till May. So I just think he's going to be stuck in Baltimore, man. And he's got an option. $37 million. You can go play and be free next year. Or you could try to sit out, and we're going to tax you on it. What do you do?
Wow.
What do you do?
I can't see him sitting out for the whole year.
I mean, if he hasn't hired an agent yet, I mean, that's where he's at with this. Like, he's standing firm on his principles. He's standing firm on what he believes. He's standing firm on he doesn't think he needs an agent. So with that being said, you're not signing this deal with the Baltimore Ravens without an agent. I
got the Colts still, and I'm going to stick with
Colts.
I'm sticking with the Colts. Let's move on. After watching the Tigers yesterday punch out 6 hits and get shut out at Tampa Bay, I'm going to give you guys another chance. The Tigers will win blank games this year.
Yesterday I said 9?
You said 70.
62.
You're dropping them 8 games?
I'm dropping 8 games.
They're going to lose
62 and 100.
Listen,
62.
They're going to lose 100 games.
62 and 100.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. I meant they're going to lose 100.
Yeah, 62 and 100.
Exactly, yes.
They're going to lose 100
They're
games.
going to lose 100.
I mean, it's brutal. The Tigers yesterday, Austin Meadows was 3 for 4.
Yeah.
The rest of the team was 3 for 26.
My boy Mickey got a hit.
That's what I'm saying.
Was it like an inside the park homer? They got a
3
single?
for 4.
He got a double.
A double.
He got a double.
The rest of the team had 3 hits themselves. Collectively.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, but I don't want to sound the alarm.
You might as well.
I don't want to sound the alarm.
Get your horn out.
It's only one game, but Spencer Torkelson does not look like a major league player. He just doesn't look like one.
Wow.
The ball doesn't do anything off his bat. And I know it's one game.
Goes to first base.
I know it's one game. And I hesitate to even say it. But this kid's cannot wait until May to get going.
Yeah.
This kid cannot wait until May to get going. He's got 1 week. He better have 3 or 4 hits in the next 5 games.
Yeah.
You can't come home with an offer.
Harold Williams on the chat says 52 and 110.
They're real bad. Look, and you know what? That just might be what it is. That just might be what it is. If you're Scott Harris, you have taken over an absolute dumpster fire.
He's on the Titanic.
it's like Fletch said, you have to get better before you get worse. He said, I can see a couple of those 3-13-1s where we were comparing it to the Lions. He said, I can see a couple of those 3-13-1s before we get to moving it forward. And, hey, he called it yesterday.
Clown.
I'll give him 65
more
wins.
next.
I'll beat you by 3.
Yeah, we'll
65
finish,
wins.
We'll finish our Fill in the Blank Friday and go around the NFL. Lots of news and notes to catch up on. But first, a message from Cousins Maine Lobster.
Oh, Cousins Maine Lobster. How about it? Check them out, folks, online. Why don't you hit that QR code right now while you're at it? Cousins Maine Lobster bringing the best of Maine Coast right here to Detroit, USA, with their variety of sweet, succulent Maine lobster menu items and more with their 2 food trucks rolling around the D. Make sure you get on it right now. Click that QR code. It'll take you to their website, cousinsmainelobster.com. Then you can find out where they're going to be, if they're going to be in your area. And if you call ahead and order and go pick it up, you'll start to gain points and save money that way. Make sure you tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Get on it. cousinsmainelobster.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not 1, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, 1 for you, 1 for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Fletch, have a conversation with me.
Okay.
Because Fletch is our Tigers guy. Fletch loves the Detroit Tigers.
Okay.
Poor bad.
Love the
During the
team,
break,
not the players.
Fletch peeks his head out. He said, what did you say, Fletch?
I think I was talking with
Torkelson.
Lentz in the back, and we were talking about Torkelson. He had like over 100, I think, on his exit velocity coming off the bat
gives a
yesterday.
damn?
They were grounders, but I mean, he's hitting the ball hard.
Exit velo.
Exit velo.
Ball jumps off the bat.
One of
I
my,
love it.
It's one of my least favorite terms.
No, I mean, we're old school when it comes to that stuff, though, man. I love you, Fletch. That's great stuff. Look, I obviously am rooting for the guy. He's one of the most important players to this team's rebuild and how quickly it will happen. If Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, and Javier Baez perform to what you think they can be, this rebuild will be a little bit quicker, a little bit faster than you think it is now.
Oh, God.
You just don't know, but hope is not a strategy.
It's almost 10 years now.
A wise man
of
once
garbage.
said that. It's just garbage. Do you
10
think
years
about it?
of garbage.
The Tigers haven't made the playoffs in 8 years. You talk about Miguel Cabrera, too, man. I mean, if you're Miguel Cabrera, how have you lasted on this crap team and not requested a trade?
Because you get
they're
$30
paying
million
him so
a year.
much.
What you talking about? He
I
makes
know, but-
$30 million
yeah,
a year.
I guess
He's
you don't
already-
care.
He's
I
already
get
got his World Series. He's already an icon. He's already a legend. He's already established. He's like, shoot, I'm just enjoying it till I move back to Venezuela.
That is one of the things that kind of ruins sports a little bit. I would think that once you make a lot of money, do you really care?
But
You know what I'm trying to say.
I know exactly what you're saying, but I think the difference is some people have dreams that some people have aspirations that it keeps going. Some
Yeah.
people recreate their goals like on every 5-year plan, every 2-year plan. Like some players are like, boom, 5 years. What have I done this 5 years? Well, I won a World Series here. Now the relationship's not really the same right now. I'm a pretty good player. I'm on prime. All right, maybe it's time to move. Maybe I go somewhere else. Maybe oh, cool. Now another 5 years. Where I'm at? Well, now I'm kind of getting closer to retiring. I want to be somewhere cool, warm weather, blah, blah, blah. Like I think it's something that you do in your head. And I think for Mickey tapped out a while ago. Mickey was like, look, I got World Series. I won it already. I make $30 million a year. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't think Mickey had aspirations to go work harder, to go somewhere else. Now I got to compete with that team's already top dog. Now I got to come in there with their expectations on me where it's like, well, we paid you this. We expect you to be the Mickey that was, 2013 in Detroit, or we expect this. Mickey's like, I made it. I'm good. I'm chill. Some people just chill.
That's what I do.
Shaq could have busted his ass.
That's what I would do.
Shaq could have busted his ass like Kobe and wanted to be the greatest player of all time, which he would have been. But Shaq was like, I made it. I'm Shaq. I'm Diesel. I'm here in L.A. They won those first 3 chips. Shaq was like, I don't have to work no more.
Right.
Like some people are happy with that, and then some people are Kobe Bryant, where they want more. Or they're Shaq. Or they're Jordan. They want more. Some people want more. Some people just are cool.
Let's finish up with our fill-in-the-blank questions, Maz.
Okay. Next question is on Shohei Ohtani. Yesterday, 6 shutout innings. He struck out 10. And on the batting side, he got a run in. He got a hit. He walked. He left with the lead. Of course, the Angels wound up losing when he went out.
Shocking.
Shohei Ohtani will play for blank next year.
The Dodgers.
It's only one answer.
The Dodgers or the Mets?
It's the Dodgers or the Mets. Well, I guess it's 2 answers. Obviously, the guy that kind of really was a recruited Shohei is with the Mets now.
Yes.
So that would be that connect. But with the Dodgers, they're not going to let him get outside of L.A. Like, it's literally same city as down the street. The Dodgers have the largest stadium in terms of how many people come on a regular basis. It's like 10,000 more than everybody else. They got more money than everybody else. Like, it's a show out there in L.A. I can't see him going anywhere else.
Fletch, before I give my answer, put up the Forbes most valuable teams, please. Let's put this up. Take a peek at that. How much are the Yankees worth?
$7.1 billion.
How much are the Dodgers worth?
$4.8 billion.
He's going to the Bronx.
You think so?
Yes. He's going to the
him?
Yankees. Yes, they're going to pay him.
What are they going to pay him?
Whatever the hell he wants.
$500 million?
500 million, 600 million. Whatever the hell he wants. He's going to go there, and he's a young man yet.
Hank Steinbrenner has that kind of appetite?
Probably not, but he's going to have to get it if he wants to keep the Yankees where they're supposed to be. And they haven't been good in a while. It's time. He's going to be in New York.
When's the last time the Yankees won a championship?
2009.
No, I'm asking. I don't remember.
2009.
Is it 2009?
Was it 12 or 9?
2009.
Yeah.
2009. They beat the Philly.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel, Maz?
Shitty. Shitty. I don't even remember the last time they won.
I love it.
And I look at them and they look like crap to me still. I know they won yesterday, Garrett Cole, but they don't have any other arms.
The only reason I know that's when they won because that's when I got traded to the Jets. So they won legitimately right when I got to New York. I said, this is a hell of a start.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's the sweatshirt I wear. I still have the old freaking sweatshirt, the championship sweatshirt. I need new clothes.
By the way, I do love the Yankees. I love our revered franchises.
100%.
Yesterday opening day, and I was looking at Twitter yesterday, and some of the great things that happened on Twitter from opening day. One of them is the Yankees roll call from the bleachers. And every single player acknowledges the roll call.
Yep.
And you don't move on to the next player until the player turns around, tips his cap, or gives the old one of these. It is so cool, man. Describe what happens to people, what the roll call is.
It starts out in the bleachers, and they start. First, they always started with Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
They'll go, Derek Jeter, and they'll start clapping. And unless he turns around and doffs his hat, Derek Jeter. Once he doffs his hat, great. Anthony Rizzo. And he'll doff his cap, go around the diamond. How about the kid that played yesterday, the next Derek Jeter?
Volpe.
Anthony Volpe, wearing number 11. Second guy to wear it in Yankee history.
And that was why they did it. It was Anthony Volpe's first roll call. Anthony Volpe's first roll call. So that was one of the things. It was a really, really cool thing. So the kids will remember that for a lifetime.
Side note, yesterday, obviously with the pitch clock, which is now faster. I don't know if you guys talked about it. Detroit Tigers game. It ended in 2 hours and 14 minutes yesterday.
Wow.
That's what the pitch got, 2 hours and 14 minutes. Also with the bigger bases, yesterday was the first time in a very long time, I think, where the stolen bases were more than the home runs. 21 stolen bases yesterday compared to the last year's 10 or 11.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's easier to steal. You can't throw over as much.
You change the rules. This is what happens. Now it's more fun. You're getting stolen bases. The gameplay picks up. When things are fast, when things are quick, when there's a lot going on, it's more fun to watch. And I think that's what you're about to see with baseball.
Hey, our own Spencer Rachter just walked in and showed me something from Jeff Goodman, who covers the NBA for Sports Illustrated.
Oh, he's the guy that hates Portnoy.
Hunter Dickinson is transferring. Hunter Dickinson is going to play more college basketball because that's where he's making his money.
Yeah, right.
So he's hitting the transfer portal.
And no Jet Howard.
Howard's going to go. He's going to the NBA, I guess.
But this is why I said Michigan basketball wasn't good when we were talking about Hunter Dickinson. Everybody was, I'm like, Hunter Dickinson hasn't been that since his first year. Now he's transferring. You leave the University of Michigan to go to another school. I have nothing negative to say about Hunter Dickinson. I appreciate what he did for Michigan while he was here, but he ain't built like that. And that's what you're starting to see, the college players. And college, they not built like that. They not going to the league. So this is their league. He's going to capitalize, although I don't know why he didn't capitalize here. But, hey, more power to him wherever he's capitalizing. But them players, they're not built like that, and that's why it's boring.
I wonder where he's going to go.
To watch.
I don't know.
Somewhere where there's money.
Yeah, he'll have a market, and he'll make some money. You know, he'll make more than the $250,000 he would make overseas.
St. John's, baby. He can go play at Patino. He can play at Madison Square Garden. Somebody in New York got some money.
I hear the music behind me. Does that mean we need a break?
That does. And I want to get
to one last question, too.
Okay, get it. Hit it real quick.
No, it's okay.
Okay, we'll do the last question next. And then really pretty big deal in the NFL going on regarding one of their former reporters. We'll have that for you coming up next. But first, a message from the Foaling Warehouse.
All right, the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck, Michigan. 2 ways to play it. It's $12. Unlimited open play. You can go when they open. You leave when they close. Not bad. Or a private lane reservation, 10 or 12 guys on a lane. How about that? Bring your family and friends down there for 2 hours. You get it on your own. Runs you $120. That's less than $10 per person. If you're thirsty, they got you covered. They got multiple full bars, over 100 beers on the menu, and a $2 mystery beer machine. Get your Foal on at FoalingWarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir-fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Now is the best time to join Planet Fitness. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. With tons of equipment, a full body workout in a 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. But the best part about all this, you get it all just for $10 a month.
Only $10?
Yes, only $10 a month. Planet Fitness has more than 50 convenient locations around the Metro Detroit area, so no matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness nearby. Join In Club today, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Jim Trotter of the NFL Network, formerly of the NFL Network, just lobbed a grenade at the NFL. So let me just back it up for you. Okay. Oh, well, here's the tweet, and I'll read it. I've thought a lot about the Brian Flores lawsuit against the NFL for alleged discriminatory hiring practices. His case is the micro. The macro is the culture within the NFL, including owner behavior that was covered up by league-owned newsrooms. Stay tuned. More to come.
Oh, God.
He is going to take a wrecking ball to the NFL Network and the NFL. Jim Trotter, by the way, not famously, earlier this year, you know how before the Super Bowl, the commissioner of the NFL has a State of the League press conference. Jim Trotter stood up before Roger Goodell, and he asked Roger Goodell about the commitment to diversity and if it extends beyond the sideline to the front office, but the numbers in the newsroom at the league-owned NFL Network. Jim Trotter was fired a month later. And now he is coming. Now
right. Let me correct you a little.
Okay, please.
From what I understand.
Yeah.
He did this for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
That's the question. He didn't get fired until the day after Monday, this week.
Yeah.
Monday, he stood up in the owners. Remember the general manager and everything was?
Yeah.
And he posed that same question. And he said, listen, I know I asked you at the Super Bowl, and I've looked at it since, and I really haven't seen much of a change. Can you go into it more? Then he was fired.
So it was the second time that he asked.
The second time he asked.
So he asked the same question within about a month and a half time span, and they don't like it. They did not like Mr. Trotter poking around at their organization.
I'm shocking. The NFL doesn't like when you ask them questions about diversity as it relates to anything.
Or anything.
Well, they don't like any question, especially the diversity question, because that's the answer nowadays they have to account for. That's the answer nowadays they have to give unless they get rid of you. The only thing about this that's dangerous, the NFL has to realize they have a lot of people that have been charting and tracking and referencing and holding on to and saving and documenting things for years and years. They're waiting for a situation to where you cross them for them to just blow up a situation. Like situations like this is when the mighty, they fall. Poking at the people with the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword, and this could hurt them.
That's unbelievable. I mean, it's they also let go of a few other people. I mean, ESPN is firing people as
I
well.
hear like by the hundreds they're gonna have another exodus, mass firing.
Rachel Bonnetta, I remember her from the NFL Network. She did a pretty good job. Very funny. They didn't renew her contract either. So there's other stuff going around.
So you've got an African American male and a woman.
Yeah.
Okay. Just for
I
don't mean to laugh, but we're talking about it.
It's true.
And those are the two people you're telling me that they.
I mean, walk like a duck and quack like a duck.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about it other than you understand why these owners pay Roger Goodell $60 million a year
100%
to take the bullets for him. Roger Goodell is taking the bullets, not the owners. Roger Goodell is the shield.
They're able to save face.
Yeah.
Like the owners can have just horrible mindsets and horrible ways of thinking about things with other people. But the fans and the people and the public, they don't know unless things come out. You know what I'm saying? Like Roger Goodell, he takes on all the hats. He's the guy that doesn't support this. He doesn't support inclusion. He doesn't support, it's all this. He takes all the bullets for those
Can
guys.
I ask you guys a question?
$60 million, I do too.
Just as a different way to think about it. Is it less about the color of the man,
right,
and more about the question in which he was asking? For instance, what I'm trying to say is these leagues do not like to be questioned by their own representatives. Braylon, you worked at the Big Ten Network. The Big Ten Network, NFL Network, Major League Baseball, nobody that owns a league wants you to question anything that they're doing. They are essentially PR pieces for these leagues, for these organizations. So
especially questions that they don't have good answers for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So what I'm saying is, if Jim Trotter was a white guy asking those questions, he too would have been fired. I want to make that clear.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that the questions were even asked that these leagues don't like it.
Well, one, he wasn't, and then two, we don't know that. Like three, he wouldn't have been digging in that area. Like a white guy wouldn't have been digging around.
Well, that's
it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah. So
it's just one of those things. I don't know. You take a look at whatever league you're working for.
Yeah.
If you're working for a team like at the Yes Network, where they broadcast Yankees games, you're not criticizing the Yankees.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
I'm still shocked that the whole Daniel Snyder stuff hasn't come out. I mean, he's shut up. Have you noticed? He has shut up, and he's selling the team. And by the way, Robert Griffin the third has thrown his name in. He's got a group that wants to try to buy the Commanders as well. But you got a guy out there in John Gruden who is suing He's got a suit going against the NFL. And we can only hope that Gruden somehow, some way, he probably won't. He's not going to make it to the finish line. He's not going to make it.
What do you hope? I don't understand what you're saying.
I want to hear.
He wants to hear all the dirt.
I want to hear.
That Gruden is able to
I want dirt.
It's not happening. I
know. He ain't going to make it to the finish line.
Because the 32 move is one. And when the one didn't want to be a part of the 32, the other 31 told him, look, check this out. We own you. You want to play this game with us? It's 31 of us. It's one of you. So now you see Snyder getting quiet. They're not playing these games with him. Like, they're a mob for real. The stuff that they have on him, the stuff that they have on each other, they're not willing to blow that up. And as much as I talked about this when it first happened, I said, yeah, Snyder wants to play that game now. I said, but what he has to realize is once this is over, you're still trying to make money. You still want to be betting with other people, and they can shut you down to where you're not making money. No one will touch you. You will be a pariah in society or the ways in which you make money. He's like, I still need to make money. He ain't going nowhere with that. He's going to take all that information he was talking about. He's going to throw it in the vault and never mention it.
Crazy, man.
They own
It's
him.
crazy. It's just such a...
Once you get in, you can't get out.
They're unbelievable.
It is. It feels like a little bit of its own society, doesn't it? You have no idea what you're getting into when you get in it, and once you're out of it, you can't get out.
But you're still in, though.
But you
Name somebody that walked away from the mob.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Not alive.
Exactly.
Guys, we'll take a break. We'll go around the league next. Plenty of news and notes to get to, including a PFF mock draft that has the Lions actually trading up to get Anthony Richardson. And I'll tell you why I don't like this draft, among many reasons. But we'll do that. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. That's right. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 50 years. When you see that nope, never mind. When you see that symbol, I don't know where, guys, it's Friday. It is what it is.
It's been Friday all week.
Listen to me.
Black coaches.
Listen to me. If you need, I was gonna say when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Mike Thomason,
right? Guys, if you want a Chevrolet, a Cadillac, a Buick, or a GMC, they got great deals at Les Stanford, and they've got those brands now, Buick and GMC. Look them up online, lesstanford.com, lesstanford.com.
Fine.
Dealerships in Ferndale, dealership in Dearborn.
Roads.
Please, find new roads. lesstanford.com.
Fine.
Hey, go there now for me. Just go there now.
Black and yellow.
lesstanford.com. Check it out.
New roads.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, at Alta, uptime matters.
It matters.
Attaboy, Ryan. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, give Alta Rental a call. Do it today. 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO, the number 2, Alta.
Looking forward to Rey Mysterio Jr. And Rey Mysterio dueling it out in WrestleMania.
I'm so tired of him and his son. Like, his son's so horrible. Dominic Mysterio. I wish they would just throw him in a box somewhere and don't let him out till he's like 25. Like, he's horrible, man.
Terrible.
He's a little skinny juvenile kid. Am I the only one, JB?
No, you're right. He
be doing these weak ass frog splashes, man.
He looks like Eddie Guerrero.
He's just disrespecting Eddie Guerrero's legend, man. Shout out to Eddie Guerrero, man. Rest in peace, man. Doing those weak ass frog splashes.
Is that movie out about Michael Jordan yet?
No,
With Matt Damon. Air.
It's really
when's that coming out?
So hold on, I gotta peep you on game. It's not about Michael Jordan,
right?
It's really just about Sonny Vaccaro,
right? I love that.
Yeah,
I love
it's Sonny Vaccaro, who's Matt Damon's playing. It's about the whole story of.
He's playing Sonny Vaccaro.
Matt Damon is, yeah.
Oh, did you ever see the 30 for 30?
I did.
That was awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
On Sonny Vaccaro.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch that
It
tonight.
was how the shoe deals came about.
Wow.
That shit was,
It was really
shoe deal
great.
was crazy.
Watch that.
Talk about mob mentality. Watch that.
I'm excited.
What?
My homeboy Jeff said Mickey's he's a Venezuelan Babe Ruth.
Oh my God!
You saw
it's
Babe
so
Ruth
funny.
that day? He said he was just chilling. He was just chilling to get a check.
Nah, Babe Ruth wanted to be a manager.
This is true.
And he got
did.
screwed.
He did. Yeah.
He got
poor
screwed.
Babe.
He had a
They
horrible ending.
Screwed. Babe screwed Babe.
Well,
Babe would have got out a little earlier.
Babe is Babe.
A little earlier.
Right.
You hire him because he's Babe Ruth.
Right. Hey, Maz, I wanted to get to this mock draft.
Please do. I
that
gave you guys the draft.
that you talked about, though. Like, I don't understand what the
going on.
Lions are doing here. This is Pro Football Focus. I mean, this is a legitimate
Yeah, this is
website
Chris
here.
Collinsworth's publication.
They're saying that the quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3 in this draft. Carolina takes C.J. Stroud. Houston takes Bryce Young. And the Detroit Lions trade up to get Anthony Richardson. This is the dumbest trade for me. Detroit sends 6, 48, 81, and a 2024 first-round pick.
Yeah. Yes.
And a 2024 fourth-round pick.
That ain't gonna happen.
When you sent me that and I saw that, I was like, this cannot be
It
Pro
almost
Football Focus.
makes it worthless to talk about.
I was like, this cannot be Pro
I
Football
want you to
Focus.
read what they say about A-Rod.
Okay, the Lions had a strong free agency period that truly enabled them to have no needs entering the 2023 NFL Draft. Though one could argue the interior of their defensive line still needs the most work. More on that later. With this pick, Detroit shows they have no plans to draft early again this time anytime soon. They make a bold move for the most athletically gifted quarterback we've seen in a long time. Jared Goff has 2 years and $53 million left on his contract with nothing guaranteed. And while he's been solid in Detroit, the only way the Lions truly see their rebuild through to the finish line following quarterback swap with Matthew Stafford is by using the extra draft capital to acquire to land the potential difference-making quarterback. Goff does not elevate the talent around him, but Richardson certainly could. Richardson is also not a total project like he's been made out to be. With his 9.2% pressure to sack rate in 2022, the 11th lowest mark in the country, he can certainly stand to improve his accuracy and occasional poor decision-making, but the sky's the limit. These are the lottery ticket draft picks the NFL has begun to gravitate toward at quarterback.
That stat only means the brother can run. I mean, he said he runs 4.39. That means he can dodge tackles. That means he's getting out of bounds and he's not taking sacks. That doesn't mean he's standing in the pocket and delivering strikes that will make me give you three picks, including a first rounder again next year. That pick, that trade would be horrendous.
The reason why the Lions wouldn't in any way, shape, or form trade next year's number one, they will not trade away a number one pick in 2024. The NFL draft is in Detroit. Under no circumstance will they not have a first-round pick. It's just not going to happen.
Fact. You're right.
Yeah, if you're talking about trading 6, 48, 81, and next year's first-round pick and moving up, then you're telling me we're drafting Patrick Mahomes.
I would trade.
That's the only way I'm doing that.
Throw out that number one pick then.
Yes, I'd do it.
Would you do it?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
So give him 6, 48, and 81 to move up to 3?
Yeah, and you still have 18 and 55.
And you've made great moves in the offseason. You still have a bunch of bodies on the team currently as it's constructed. So, sure, if you believe that much in Anthony Richardson and Brad Holmes, then I'm cool with that minus the first-round pick next year.
So, at number 18 of this draft, they have the Lions selecting Kalijah Cansey of Pittsburgh. Yep. The morning show loves this kid.
Yeah.
We mentioned the Lions need to add more juice on the interior, and they do just that. Kancey's lack of size may cause him to fall even further down the board. But Lions general manager Brad Holmes was the Rams director of college scouting in 2014 when they selected another undersized interior defender. His name was Aaron Donald out of Pittsburgh, number 13th overall. Kancey's 92.4 pass rush grade and 18% pressure rate led all interior defenders in 2022. His 22% pass rush win rate placed him second. He was as productive an interior pass rusher as you can find, and he even has a bit of a specialized role early in his career. It is a very valuable specialty.
There are some smaller individuals that have gotten through the cracks. I mean, you look at Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was a man-child. Even though he was smaller, he still was built like a man-child. I remember when they said Dwight Freeney, when he was coming out of Syracuse.
Sam Mills.
He was too far. Sam Mills, obviously legend. Rest in peace. Hall of Famer. His Carolina Panthers is where he finished his career. Yes, there are some that slip through the cracks. But the problem nowadays, Ryan, with getting these guys that are undersized is linemen are now stronger, faster. You got linemen that are running in the 4.7s. In the 40. You got linemen that are running in the 4.8s. Linemen can move. So where that being undersized but being explosive back in the day, where it could work because you were so fast, you were so explosive, and you were small enough to get between the cracks between the guard and the tackle or the center or the guard. Now those guards in tackle, they can run just as well as you. Those guys can move just as well as those guys. So being undersized in this NFL, that's a long shot. It's a long shot.
I like the kid.
Hey, you know who else likes the kid, Maz?
Who?
Steve Smith. Steve Smith loves Anthony Richardson. Why do you say shocking?
Because he's 5'9".
Oh.
No, he likes Anthony Richardson.
Oh, I thought you should were talking about Kalijah Kancey.
Oh. This is an investment, and no one wants to be known as the person who passed on Tesla or Amazon. That's what Steve Smith says on NFL Network
about Richardson.
Yeah, but I don't believe Tesla and Amazon, like when they were priced at what they were with the belief in Tesla and Amazon, you saw what the product was. You knew the product was going to land. Like this one, it's a bit of a reach. It's a bit of a reach if you're doing your due diligence.
Well, there's a lot of people that love him, Ray. There's a lot of people that have the doubts about him.
And there's a lot of people that don't have the pick at number 6 for real. They're not the Detroit Lions. They don't have to live with that pick at 6. They can tell you, man, this is a good look. This looks good. My math checks out. But they don't have to deal with that if he doesn't become what people say he is.
I will tell you this: if they do take him at 6, there's not going to be a Lion fan around that's not going to be in love with him because they're going to trust Brad Holmes. Mm-hmm. So if he does pick him, he must know what the hell he's talking about.
That's a very important point, I think, to make. I wanted to say this, too. We mentioned earlier that several teams have taken Jalen Carter off their draft board. Josh McDaniels does say that is false. This from Pro Football Talk. Josh McDaniels contradicts the report that says Jalen Carter and is, in fact, on the team's draft board. Again, you don't know who to believe and who not to believe. ML Football, independent reporter that we like to see, and a lot of players I notice quote tweet and talk to ML Football. Yeah. He says that several teams have taken him off the board, multiple teams, and that is per former NFL general manager Randy Mueller, who is now with the XFL, who has a podcast. So that is something that's been talked about. And our good buddy Dove Kleiman, who I love Dove.
Me too.
I love this guy. Nobody knows who Dove is. Nobody has any idea who Dove is.
I've been writing back and forth with him.
And he seems like a decent guy.
He's a great guy. Always answers me back, but he's like, Tom, I've turned everyone down to go on to talk on shows. I'm doing what I do. I'm like, I respect that. So we appreciate you. I'm going to keep him coming.
Tom will hit him up another month.
What Dove
you gotta keep after it.
What Dove does is he just tweets out what other people say, and he gives them the credit.
Yeah, he'll give the Athletic.
Like, for instance, put this one from Dove up. See, Dove, report. Georgia defensive lineman Jalen Carter has been taken off the NFL draft board, and he tweets out the Athletic. This is from the Athletic.
So is this like is this like an official cool way to be lazy?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't get paid by anybody. He's not like a real reporter.
That's what he says.
He's like a Twitter guy.
I'm not getting kickbacks from anybody, he says.
But you know the kickback that he's getting, he's got a blue check probably that he pays for, whatever. But people retweet his stuff. People comment on his stuff. Like,
he grows his audience.
He grows his audience. He gets his connectivity to the world. So that's what he gets out of it.
That is...
I love him. Well, the content. It always
Here's
seems
another
to
one
check
from,
out.
Here's another one from Dove. The Seahawks, they put out some pretty good stuff on their site. They put out some selfies with Anthony Richardson and the rest of the quarterback class. These are all the Seahawks pictures with the quarterback class. And they pick at 5, as you know. And I always thought they were going to take a quarterback at 5. I still believe they take a quarterback at 5. We'll see which one of these guys will be a Seahawk.
These are so fake.
You hate it, Braylon.
I do, because I'm like...
hell, you'd be taking a selfie with
No,
him.
I wouldn't. I'd be like, yo, if y'all going to draft me, take a selfie. Let's take a selfie after y'all draft me. You did it with everybody else. I don't want to be the next guy in the picture.
No doubt. Joe Mixon on his way out of Cincinnati.
I always put that in because this is for Braylon. This is Braylon's guy.
You took the bait.
Here's the next one now.
You took the bait.
Go ahead, Ryan, read this.
I'm not reading
it's very
nothing.
simple.
Right now, he's on the team. Bengals Executive Vice President Katie Blackburn addressed the Joe Mixon at the NFL owners meetings.
Let me out. Let me out.
Hey, Joe Mixon ain't did nothing, man.
Joe Mixon.
That's your boy.
He's gone.
Your boy, Maz.
He's gone, Braylon.
He's been chilling.
He's been chilling.
He's falsely accused.
Oh, my gosh. All right, guys.
Allegedly.
Hey, I want to tell you
He's
about
going back to
Lady
McDonald's.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment on your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
It's wicked awesome.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
-8.
Oh, hi, everybody. On a Friday, guys, unbelievable. It's Friday. It's the weekend. It's happening.
Jesus Christ, thank God. No, I'm joking with
Pray
you,
to
man.
Jesus.
I always do.
Always.
Always
Thank God.
I just went to my niece's christening last week.
You're good for a couple weeks.
Exactly.
Your niece's christening is like a month ago.
First of all, sir, it was 2
Just
weeks ago.
when. Define just when.
It was 2 weeks ago. I still pray, but I'm saying that was actually in
Right,
church.
you don't have to go to church to
Exactly.
pray mass.
Hey,
exactly.
Whatever,
Meditate,
man.
pray the whole
He
nine
goes to
yards,
Max's, though.
Hey, man, look, Jesus loves me.
He does.
I know
Loves
that.
all of
He
us.
loves all of you
He
guys.
loves you, man. He really loves you.
All right,
look
Max,
what
give
you
us
are.
Give us a rundown here.
Bill Belichick, guys. I got to get this one in. Belichick in the news again. He is non-committal on whether he's going to let Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi be his starting quarterback.
This is how you
This
ruin
guy's
guys.
on the ropes.
Like, this is how you ruin guys. Like, see, this is like now from Robert Kraft. These are the type of things where I'm like, you know what? it's nearing the end. Like this is gonna be. I'm gonna have a conversation with Robert. If I'm Robert Kraft, I'm having a conversation with Bill Belichick, and I'm saying, hey, look, man, this is what the season entails. This is what the season is for. The fact that you're playing with the mind of a guy we just drafted 2 years ago. We just drafted Mac Jones 2 years ago, and you're already toying with his mind in the first round, mind you. In the first round, now you're playing with his mind over Bailey Zappi. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. Mac Jones should be the starting quarterback going into training camp, and then you work from there.
All right.
Yeah, I like it.
Hey, Red Wings won a classic last night. I don't know if anyone caught the end of it. A buzzer beater.
In the NHL.
To beat the Canes, who are one of the best teams in the league. Jake Wallman with the game winner. They play at the Jets tonight. So the Wings not giving up as the year is ending. They're playing hard still. For Derek Lalonde, who got thrown out of the game the other night.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yep, he's been giving it back to those refs. How about the Bruins? They win the President's Trophy. They've been dominating this year.
Bertuzzi scored last night.
He did. Look at this. The last 8 President's Trophy winners, the last 9, have barely made it out of the first round.
Wow.
So it's something.
And Boston's been in there twice.
The Bruins, man, could get knocked off early.
Didn't the Panthers have the most wins last year?
Yeah.
And they got smoked.
How about that, huh?
Yeah.
And then your
NHL.
Your boy Connor McDavid is on a hot streak again.
I brought it up yesterday, and you were like, oh, no, you've never seen Wayne Gretzky play. I'm like, Connor McDavid does something every night. Last night he became the fastest scoring 300 goal of all time. Youngest player to score. Fastest player to score 300 goals. There you go. I said it right. This time Connor became the first player in NHL history to record 5 10-game point streaks in a single season. The only other player with 4 is you-know-who. It's the great one. I'm telling you, Connor McDavid, if he was playing on a different team.
You're right.
Like, people will give him the credit. He's not going to credit. Or Edmonton hasn't been a good team. They can't cross the hump and get to the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, he is a man-child. Like, he's doing stuff that Gretzky didn't even do. Now, we know Gretzky's a better player. I'm not going that far. Stuff he's doing is legendary, man.
Hey, battle for last place in the NBA tonight.
Shout out to Tom T.
These guys seem to play each other a lot. The Pistons and the Rockettes in Houston tonight. That is a game that I'm probably not going to watch.
Guys, I got a great idea.
Neither one of them is getting the first pick overall.
And I want to give a shout-out to my guy, Michael Gentry.
Gent.
Follow him on Twitter and check out his podcast with Darren McCarty, Chompin' Puck, okay? We were talking about a way to have some fun in the NBA. And we think one of the ways you can have some real fun in the NBA is to take the 10 teams that do not make the playoffs, have them play an NCAA tournament, March Madness style of tournament, one game, and the winner of that tournament gets the number 1 pick in the draft.
So what happens if somebody gets hurt in this game that you're playing, this extra game? What if, like, someone tears an ACL and they're out for the season?
That's life.
What if my aunt had balls?
Yeah, but that's not the same.
She'd be your uncle.
You're creating.
That's the point.
But you're creating a situation for players to get hurt just to decide the number 1 pick.
I don't know.
I kind of love it.
Because this is so this is an extra game. This would be an 83rd game, which means,
well, what if you?
What's the compensation? What's the pay?
You take off some games.
You don't take
Once you're eliminated from the playoffs.
It doesn't matter. This counts as an 83rd calendar game.
But what about the players who play in the playoffs?
Yeah.
So, but their goal is to win the NBA Finals, to win the championship.
Well, your goal here is to win the number 1
But you also
pick.
get paid in the playoffs. You have compensation for the playoffs.
It's not the same compensation.
And that's what I'm asking. What's the compensation?
I don't know. I just thought about the draft.
We'll work it out. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, you can't expect guys to just play for free.
$100,000.
$100,000 a game?
A person.
No, they're split up amongst the team.
He's joking. You might as well for what these guys getting paid.
Man. It's a good idea, I think.
Damian Lillard makes $60 million next year. You think he cares about $100,000?
Hey, man.
$1 million.
You can go buy yourself a nice car with that $100,000.
Not the stuff they drive.
$1 million.
You can't even get in the door of the Rolls-Royce dealership with $100,000. We better take
Can
your
you
ass
get a
down
Jeep
to Subaru.
Wagoneer for $100,000?
No, the Jeep
barely
Wagoneer
get
is like
that.
112.
Isn't that
like
something?
106?
That makes me sick.
Oh,
Why does it make you sick?
I don't know.
You gotta have money to play, man.
I mean, come on, man.
You can get you a Jeep Cherokee. You don't have to get a Wagoneer.
Jeep Cherokee's like $75,000.
Well, you know what? Maybe you can get you get a Cube.
I can't even. Yeah, that's all I could get.
You can get an Element.
I can't even get whatever the hell a clown car. I
Shout out to all the people
I
driving
can't
Elements
afford
out there.
anything.
All right, last one, Maz. You got any more?
Yeah, I do. Tomorrow's the
last one.
final four. Okay,
Is
fill
it?
in the blank.
Who plays?
Blank will play blank for the Monday Natty.
UConn, Florida Atlantic.
Miami is going to win it all. I don't care about who they're playing. Miami's going to win it all.
So you got Miami against
Who?
either Florida
How you
Atlantic,
do it?
either Florida Atlantic or San Diego State.
all Florida final. Miami and
Is that how you do
FAU.
it?
Wow.
It doesn't matter. You went to Michigan.
Talk about that would be the lowest
No, you
rated.
stuff us.
That
There
would be
you
the
go.
lowest rated final in the history of sports.
I told you. That's
Miami
hey,
against
but you know
Florida
what won't.
Atlantic.
But you know what won't be the lowest. It's the women's, baby. It's the women's.
Yeah,
It's going to be UConn and San Diego State.
It'll be a
to win on
9:30
Monday.
tip-off, so all the kids can watch.
Guarantee you, Monday get less ratings than Sunday night.
Get us out of here, Bray. Thanks,
Yo,
everybody.
man, go check the women on Sunday, man. Don't check the men. The game's
women's.
gonna be
Tonight, you mean?
Miami's
You
gonna
play
win it
tonight?
all. Go check out WrestleMania this week.
Garbage.
2 parts Saturday and Sunday. What do you mean garbage?
Go,
Garbage.
Rey Mysterio.
All right, go watch pickleball. Oh yeah, the pickleball finals are on Sunday.
Pickleball? I don't even.
It's on. Hey
Garbage.
man, don't sleep. Pickleball was fire, man. Hell of a week out of you. Fletch, you got a hell of a week. JB, my guy, keep killing it. Maz, look, man, go watch you some pickleball Sunday.
No thanks, man.
It's gonna be
I'll
good.
stick with tennis.
You don't subscribe. You don't.
It's mini tennis.
You don't subscribe to Obscure Sports Quarterly?
Not at all.
All right, Ryan. I'll see you next week, buddy. Love you.
Ryan already left.
Ryan been gone since Monday. Ryan been out since Monday.
Ryan's got. Hey, get that clown off of me.
All right, man. We'll see you guys later. We're out.
Exit Velo.
Michigan Wolverine is great. A Michigan Wolverine is great. A Michigan Wolverine is great.